to the Recorded Line, formerly known as the 15-minute break, the interview show where you get to know the people behind you all during your normal working hours. Today, we have the man who investigates and solves many company problems. We have the calculator and the first Goatly Gladiator, Tyler Bartley. How you doing today, Tyler?
Good. How are you?
Pretty good. I'm glad that I have things set up properly now. So you ready to start? Ready to start everything?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So how was going to and graduating from A&M prepared you to be a performance strategist?
One thing from going to A&M, I majored in mathematics, and so using that for all of the data analysis that we have to do, and looking at trends and click-through rates and click-to-leads, conversions, all that kind of stuff, like that really comes naturally for me now because of that major. I really enjoyed my time at Texas A&M and had a lot of fun there, and I really learned a lot while I was there.
Awesome. Did you get the class ring, and did you do the regular traditions with it?
Yes, I did. Yes, I got my class ring and did my ring dunk.
Awesome. Let's see. So solving issues for you is not foreign.
Right, correct.
Okay. So you went from being a teacher teaching AP calculus at Colleyville Heritage High School,
Yes.
to working as a social media and SEO marketer for TCT Real Estate.
Yes.
So what are some memories from these places that you bring into work now?
It's really funny teaching at Colleyville Heritage. There was actually a student there at the time named Reginald Ubaldo, who is now a performance strategist here. I didn't actually get to teach him, but so yeah, that was kind of an interesting thing that he was on the first day of training was like, hey, wait, I think I recognize you. So, that's something that's really funny there. Working with TCT Real Estate was really where I got into the marketing side of things. I started out building their websites and then kind of did their social media, transitioned that into SEO and SEM, and then ended up taking over the CRM position there. So, I really got to see everything that Dex does in one place, just working for a single company. So, really being able to work with the business owners there, taking over, all of their digital footprint and working through that, like that was an amazing experience that really helped me prepare for this role here.
So currently you are part of the Battle Ready Gladiators. So
Yes.
what are some things that you've learned from your team that helps your clients?
From my team, we've got a few real rock stars on there. Eric is one that you can really take a lot from. He knows how to call clients, get his engagement up. With Travis has a whole lot of insight of, how things are going, and is part of our leadership that's meeting every week and bringing things back. Dax is someone who's great at talking with clients and working on his accounts. So, and there's a lot more on the team, but, really getting to work with them, being able to work on their accounts with them and kind of see their thinking has really helped me a lot. And, they're a great team to work with.
So what are some principles, some ideas that make up Tyler Bartley as a performance strategist?
Really striving to come in, work hard every day, take care of my clients, and also take care of the people that are around me. So that's one thing that from day one I've really tried to do is to help out others around me, whether it's an issue with their search engine marketing or YP.com or how to craft an email. I always try to make myself available to the people that are around me, so that if they have any questions at all, I'm always there to help them out.
Okay, cool. Helping out others. Thank you for helping out with this video. With your background in digital marketing, what are some mistakes that you see business tend to do inside of this social digital world?
Oh man. So mistakes that some businesses make inside of the digital world. The biggest thing that I have seen is consistency. whether it's with their brand, their message, their um, just being consistent in posting on social media or going through one program or another, or they a lot of times with small businesses, they don't have very much time, and so they see things as a good idea, they start down that path, and then they get caught up with all of their day-to-day stuff and it kind of falls away. So that's where I think that us as performance strategists are great, because we're able to take care of that day-to-day stuff that normally would fall away for them. But yeah, that's something, with my experience before and now, having that consistency to keep everything running is a mistake that I see from business owners quite a bit.
Seeing their mistakes, what are some 5 guidelines that you would give to a business joining into the digital marketing world?
Some guidelines that I would give to a business owner, first of all, is just to know who you are, know your market, know your audience, so that you're coming out with the correct message. With that, then you're also able to find the right products for you. So, a display campaign may not be great for everyone, but for some people, lawyers use it quite a bit. Those are great campaigns for them. Search engine marketing is usually pretty good across the board, but making sure that you know your identity, that you know who your customers are, where to find them. That's really the biggest thing for business owners.
Thinking about business owners again, as a performance strategist, you have many different accounts talking to a lot of different businesses, correct?
Correct.
So can you talk about a difficult account that you've had and how you overcame the difficulty of that?
So yes, so I have this pest control company. Gave him a call the first time. Did not want to talk to me. Did not want to be, a part of me. Anything like that. Didn't want any help. He had all the help that he needed. He just wanted me to take care of his account on the back end. Throughout a 15 to 20 minute phone call, I was finally able to kind of prove my value to him and show him, what I do on the back end, how it helps his account. And by the end of it, we kind of ended it with, okay, well, send me an email. And so I kind of got my foot in the door there. And then, throughout the past few months, I've continued to work on his account, always giving him, updates of when things are going, because I know that he wants to know everything that's happening with his account. He doesn't always want a phone call, but he just kind of wants to know. So keeping him in, communication that way. He's emailed me back a lot of times. I've talked to him on the phone a few times, but keeping that constant communication has been really key to it, and then being able to show positive results. But from that first conversation of I don't want to talk to you, I don't know why you're here, to now emailing back and forth on a pretty consistent basis, and having phone calls with him, that's really been great. And it's just kind of keeping that up, making sure that I'm on top of his account, making sure that when I do things, I let him know, so that he knows all the work that's going on the back end, and just kind of proving that value over and over again.
As your job as a performance strategist, you'll do optimization strategy calls. Can you describe how you do your optimizations, going from when you first log into your computer all the way down to when you mark the case as satisfied?
All right, so to do an optimization, logging into the computer, bringing up Wolfpack, I always go to my accounts that are assigned to me as PS and start with the red ones, because those are the ones that need the most amount of work. Clicking into one of those, the first thing I'm going to take a look at is the budget pacing and the lead pacing, and then that's going to determine where I go from there. If budget pacing is high, that's something that really Wolfpack is going to take care of. If budget pacing is low, then that could either be Wolfpack's algorithm that's kind of refiguring things, or it could be a place where we need to expand keywords or expand a geo. With the lead pacing, if I see that that's low, which is normally the case, then I will go into the campaign management, and then I look at my main indicators, which are going to be your click to lead, your click through rate, and your cost per click. With those three, if click to lead is low, then I either need to look at optimizing my landing page and making changes on there, or going into the keywords and sorting them by the clicks to see which keywords are getting to the landing page and making sure that those are relevant, specific enough. If my click-through rate is low, then I'm going to go take a look at my ads to see, what ads aren't working, see if I can write some new ads. Or I'm going to go into my keywords and sort by impressions to see who's seeing the ads, to see if all of those are specific and relevant enough. If it's a cost per click issue, then usually I'm going to work on building in more long tail keywords so that they're more specific and we can get a little bit lower cost per click on those. So, that's kind of my process, is going through an optimization to kind of see where the issue is. If you're stuck and nothing really stands out to you, go back to the overview page, download a search query report, look for keywords that are searched often, make sure that you have those in your list of keywords, and then also look for competitors, irrelevant searches, those types of things to add in as negatives so that we're getting a lot more specific. Once you've made your changes, make sure that you notate that in Wolfpack so that you can go back the next month, see what you did, and make changes from there. And then also go into Salesforce, go into your documentation case, and put that same note in the documentation case. As we move over to Kinshu, we're going to lose all of our notes that are in Wolfpack. So you got to make sure that you document it in Salesforce, because you can't go back in a month or two and look back at it.
So what's something that you do for like all of your strategy sessions?
So for my strategy sessions, I always pull up my CP3 report, and then if it is a YP search account, then I pull up the enhanced SEM report. If it's a YP Connect, then I pull up some reporting through AdWords. So I kind of get that first, and that's really going to tell me everything that I need to go through on the strategy session. Then what I really like to do is open up a separate Word document and outline what the call is going to be like. So, I always put the client's contact information. So if I need to give them a call, I've got that. I put the BA their contact information so that if I need to reach out to them during it, I've also got them. And then, I just kind of go through the reporting and, almost hold a strategy session for myself to see, all right, what is the data that's here and what does this mean? And so, as I'm kind of going through that, then I just make notes on my Word document, and that's what I use to go over with the client. There's nothing worse than getting to something with the client and saying, oh, I didn't realize this was happening. So, always go through all that stuff first, write down all of my notes. If something is, not positive, then, I'll go ahead and, figure out how I'm going to address that with the call, and, just kind of go through everything that way. And then I also make notes on there to make sure that I recap the call at the end, make sure that I schedule the next one, all of those types of things. And so then, once I've got that document, then that's going to be my outline for the call, and I know exactly where I'm going throughout the whole call.
Okay, so Thrive 3.0 was released this year. What are some things that you enjoy about the new Thrive?
So some things that I enjoy about the new Thrive is, really the user experience. It's from 2.0 to 3.0, the interface has improved dramatically. So, that's something that I really enjoy with it. I also love the fact that the clients can connect their own Facebook, and we don't have to go through that Facebook Business Manager and then getting locked out of Facebook and all that kind of stuff that was happening. But, for the most part, really with the upgrade, the main thing that I have seen that, is really an improvement for me is just the interface. The 2.0 was not as user-friendly for someone that doesn't have a technology background. So, now having 3.0, things are a little bit more clear of, where to click, where to go, what options are there, that I think that's been a big improvement.
What are some opportunities that Thrive can improve on for you as a user?
So some opportunities for Thrive to improve. We've all had the issue with the lead injection emails going to the client. That's something that hasn't gone quite the way that we had expected. So having some places there to turn that off, limit it, once a day, once a week, once a month, something like that, so that it's, still sending them emails, but maybe not every lead that's coming in. Really, one thing that I think would really help improve it is the settings tab, because right now the settings tab has everything, the entire whole platform, and it can be very overwhelming to look at, and not always clear as exactly which button I click whenever I'm inside the settings to go to which place. So I think that there's some areas for improvement on that settings tab, since it's going to be the central hub for the entire program, to really make sure that it's not overwhelming to the clients, that it's presented in a way that makes it very accessible, very easy to use, and you know exactly where to go for whatever issue you're having, or whatever setting you want to update.
What would be some words that you would give to new members joining the floor as performance strategists?
So for new members joining the floor as performance strategists, the main thing that I would tell them is to stay organized. You're going to have a lot of accounts. You're going to have a lot of things going on within each account. Organize your email, organize your folders, organize your documents, organize everything that you can, because you never know when a client's going to call and expect you to know what's going on with their account, and you need to pull up those documents in a few seconds so that you can, start reading as you're going, because you don't know what happened with this account 1 month or 2 months ago. So to stay organized, and then also, same thing goes with your optimizations and your strategy sessions, to make sure that you know which optimizations you've done, which strategy sessions you've done, which call attempt you're on. Am I, making my call attempts in a timely manner so that I'm going to be able to get them all done by the end of the month? Am I getting enough strategy sessions so that I'm on a good pace for the month? So, having all of that organized so that you know every day what you need to get done, what's going on with your accounts, and having a plan for that day, that's really the biggest thing to help you succeed in this position.
So on the recorded line, we have people who I interviewed previously ask a question to the next interview person. So the question from Aaron was, how do you speak on mobile display and display when we can't see it? How do you explain the value? How do you explain the value to the client?
Okay. So with your online display and mobile display, really those strategy sessions work a little bit differently, because there's not as much strategy on our end. It's mainly taken over by the display team. With any type of a display campaign, it's really going to be a brand awareness campaign. Clients have to be able to look long term. This isn't trying to drive a lead, a call, a click right then. It's something to where, like Coke will have a television commercial. They don't put a phone number at the end of the commercial for you to call and order your Coke. It's 3 or 4 days later, you're in the grocery store, you remember, oh yeah, there was that Coke commercial. Whether you remember the commercial or not, it's kind of subconsciously in your brain, so that when you're in a position like that, you remember that brand and you go for that brand. So, that's really the value of it, is that brand awareness, that long term. We're showing these to people 5-10 times a month over 6-12 months. They're seeing your brand 50-100 times, so that, if you're a lawyer and then all of a sudden someone gets in an accident, well, they know your name because they've seen you over and over and over again. So, that's really the value there. As far as, a strategy session, usually they're a little bit quicker. What I like to do is go into the fulfillment item, bring up the preview that was there so that they can take a look at those. I have some clients, I just had a client actually that had an offer on theirs that had an expiration date. And so the expiration was coming to an end, so I had to get on the phone with them and say, hey, do you still want to go with this same, display ad? And then, okay, then we need to update your ad so that we can, target the next month instead of, this month. So, there's some types of things that could come up there. Another great resource, George Elmaragi's team, they do a lot of custom reports. So if you want something, a report to give to the client, a lot of the reports in CP3 don't look that user friendly. So George and his team can come up with a more custom report that you can look at with the client. It'll explain a little bit more. You can always either reach out to George directly, or you can open a display case inside of Salesforce, and they usually have a pretty quick turnaround. So that's another resource that we have for those types of clients also.
So since you've answered the question on the floor, it's now your chance to ask the next question to the next person we interview. So what is one question that you would have for the next person?
A lot of our job is centered around our engagement and our strategy sessions. So, I would really want to know from as many people as possible, what kind of tips do you have to increase your engagement so that we can keep those clients engaged with us and coming back?
All right. Thanks so much for being on the recorded line, man.
Thank you.
Awesome.